Hi, welcome to JurXNurse.com's Legal Nurse Consultant episodes. I'm your host, Elizabeth Rudolph. I'm the founder of JurXNurse.com. I'm an attorney, I'm a nurse just like you, and a professional legal nurse consultant. Be sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss another episode and share it with your friends. Today we're going to talk about how to keep track of your legal nurse consultant time spent reviewing records. After all, you want to get paid for what you've done. Your attorney client will generally provide a link to the medical records via an email to you. There may be 3 different links. If there were 3 different providers, there could be one link with 3 different sets of medical records in them. Your assignment is to review the medical records, provide a summary, of course, and give your nursing opinion. You're going to get paid handsomely for it, but how do you keep track of your time that you've spent on the case? Usually attorneys in the past, particularly defense attorneys, would keep track of their time on a notepad, and they would write down the time that they spent reviewing, let's say, documents or reviewing medical records in a case or whatever it is that they were doing, and then have those transcribed onto an invoice sent to the client. Now, times have changed. We're entering into the totally digital era. And therefore, attorneys are inputting the time almost directly themselves for the time spent. Now, how does that apply to you? You, particularly when first starting off, will likely want to use it written out longhand. That is, instead of entering in information that immediately gets sent to the attorney, you want to keep track of your time by handwriting it down. So let's break this down even further so it becomes very crystal clear to you how you actually bill attorneys for your time. Follow these instructions to a T, okay? Keep a notepad next to you. Why a notepad? Because this way you can notate on the notepad the amount of time that it took you to review the medical record. Let's say you started at a certain amount of time, or let's say it's, for example, 10 a.m. in the morning, and then at 10:25 you took a break. Then you went back at 10:30. Notate that on this document or notepad that's sitting next to you. Now, specifically, you want to describe what you were doing for those 25 minutes reviewing the medical record. For example, this is how I would do it. I would indicate review medical records from, in this case, let's say it's County Hospital, 17 pages. So you've got some sort of feel for what you did and how long it took you to do it. Next, use the page count on the medical records as a gauge, just as a gauge. There may be times where you're scrutinizing the medical record and it takes you longer to review 17 pages, but it could be that it is actually shorter depending on the type of medical record that you're reviewing. So be sure that you understand the page count is just your gauge. It's your guide for how long it might take you to review medical records in other cases moving forward, as well as the instant case that you're reviewing now. Record the amount of time per task, okay? So if you were reviewing medical records and medical bills and it took you an hour, you wouldn't want to put them all into and clumped into 1 hour. You would separate them out. Review medical records from County Hospital, 17 pages, and the amount of time it took you to review it. Then same entry for summarize medical records from County Hospital and the amount of time that it took you to do that. Now, let's talk about the medical bills. The medical bills are usually shorter, but here again, it could take a different amount of time depending on how long the medical bills are for you to scrutinize and review those. But you would review those medical bills from County Hospital and how many pages they were, and then draft a summary of the medical bills and then how long it took you to do that. The reason that you want to separate all of this out is because your attorney may be billing for your time to an insurance company or to a client. So you want to be sure that your time is allotted appropriately. Recipients of your legal nurse consultant services, again, they will likely be billing your time. So you want to be sure that their time and your time and their money and ultimately your money is exactly how it ought to be. So keep it simple, sweetheart, okay? That's what another one of my expressions, and it may be others as well, but that actually is a motto that I go by because it will keep you in good stead. All right, that's a wrap for today. Follow these steps, okay, that we just talked about to make your time easier. Number 1, keep a notepad next to you. Number 2, use the page count as a guide. And number 3, record the time that you performed a task and separate it by task that you performed instead of putting them all together. Okay, thank you for listening today. If you enjoyed this, let your friends know about it. And if you would like to get our free guide, go to jurexnurse/free guide to get our free guide on how you can hike your nursing income. I'll leave you with this one message or quote today, and that is take one step, just one step toward becoming successful as a professional legal nurse consultant. Thank you.